I take this opportunity to welcome you to my video today, and we are talking about many lives that have been ruined because of alcohol and substance misuse. If we shall listen today, we shall save very many millions. Ladies and gentlemen, many lives have been ruined in terms of education, in terms of family life, in terms of workplace, revenue, amongst others. We are going to look at each. Now, if we say lives have been ruined in education, what are we saying? We are saying the education has been disrupted. You are the father, you forgot to pay the fees. You are the mother, you forgot to follow up on the child. You are the parent, you forgot on important dates. Then the upbringing of that child has an issue. So if you are the child and you are abusing alcohol and substances at school, you may end up in a world where you can't perform academically. You fall out. The stigma there is with you. Then we are also looking at how education gets disrupted in terms of loss of interest. You end up not being able to finish the homework, and there you are. You are leading always from the bottom. How are you going to continue with a good life? You ruin your own life because of that. Other activities set in, you end up in the mother way, and you have to fall out of school. A parent returns you back to school, but you are not also concentrating. You end up ruining your life. So that's how education gets ruined. If you are supposed to be the teacher, you are supposed to be the architect, you end up with probably just the Form 3 or the grade this type of qualification. You don't go to tertiary institutions, you don't go to the university. Otherwise, a very bright child who cannot cope because you're abusing alcohol, you're abusing substance, your education gets ruined. You also have issues of communities stigmatizing the child from their own community as a spoiled child. They don't want their children to associate with you. So you work with the stigma. They isolate you in everything, all around, medical, name it. That is very negative, but that is the position on how you ruin your life all around. In terms of working life, grooming will be wanting. You don't go to the workplace when you are well groomed. Physically, you can't control yourself. You end up urinating in your own trousers. You end up vomiting because of too much alcohol. You know, the condition comes at any time because it is the impact of the alcohol you are abusing, the substances you are abusing. So you can start vomiting while on the desk. Emotionally, you are weak. Physically, you are weak. So you are not the type to be in a team. You end up shouting at others. You are the supervisor. The way you talk to the junior officers who report to you is not very, very decent. So they avoid you. Work gets compromised. That's how you ruin your life. You cannot control your own emotions. You wish to touch anybody at any time, and you wish to sneeze in an anyhow manner. You end up ruining your working life because somebody will go to report on harassment, and definitely management will listen to that persons. You end up making decisions that are wanting. When somebody is supposed to be working because another one is off, you end up giving two people off. So teams cannot perform because they don't have enough human resources. That way, you ruin your working life. At the end of the day, you will not be able to function. One team will just have a vehicle. It cannot report at a certain site for duty because it's incomplete. Others have to be trained in order to perform their jobs. You don't expect to recruit casuals in any manner. You also end up ruining your family life. And remember, I have not mentioned that accidents may occur at the workplace. They do occur. You end up interfering with the machinery or the tools, different tools, and the work cannot do well. So with the family, how do you ruin it? Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you ruin the family. You are the father, you don't know you are to check the homework, whether the child did. You don't know the child has a torn uniform. You do not know the child is not in the house. You come back and you are in a stupid type of condition. You end up ruining your own family. You are the husband. You are supposed to add another child, but you don't undertake your father roles. You do not know you are the husband. You do not know you are the mother. You end up ruining your family life. Children ape a person who is already on alcohol and substance misuse. Those are the children you are bringing up. Let us see how alcohol interferes with children and ruins them. When you are a child and you are looking at your drunk parents, those are the parents you want to associate with. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you going to associate when already you are talking of a drunk parent? You end up aping what is wrong, and the proper child upbringing is compromised. The parent is too intoxicated and forgets you are the daughter, and we have had many cases of incest and defilement, as of name them, coming from the very parent who is supposed to be taking care of the child. You end up with stigma. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing as bad as stigma. When you get isolated because people are referring to you as one who abuses alcohol, one who is misusing, then it makes even overcoming that situation very, very difficult. You end up being devalued. If you are the engineer, they refer to you as an engineer of alcohol, an engineer of substance misuse. If you are the teacher, you are the teacher of... So you are already labeled, you are already branded wherever you go. You end up not being with a very good life. You ruin your life like that. And remember, you are staying in a community. You don't stay in isolation. So when everybody is discrediting you, and yet you wish also to live a normal life, then you start fearing yourself. You look at yourself as incompetent. You look at yourself as one who cannot advise. You end up suffering. That is what we are talking about today. How alcohol and substance abuse ruins one's life. Once you are labeled with the stigma all around, then the result is you cannot be yourself. You go to the hospital, there's the bench of the people who have abused alcohol and substance misuse. Fingers are being pointed. Remember, not all hospitals have the right counselors to accept your situation as not being so one that is like you want mental attention, mental health attention. So you end up ruining yourself. That stigma ruins you and ruins you in totality, because you don't have anywhere to resort. It walks, it moves with you. You walk and everybody's pointing the finger at you. You go to a rehabilitation center. Remember, it has very well trained personnel. Personnel who know what alcohol you are abusing and how they can help you reduce and eventually lead a normal life. They know what drug you are abusing. They know how to talk to you and help you medically until you get to lead a normal life. Now, each piece of advice you are given, you do not take it in. Each time they tell you this is the way you should proceed, work like this, take this, this is the nutrition you should take, this is the exercise you should have, these are the steps you should move through. You end up not accepting to do so, or you accept temporarily and then relapse. You know, you ruin yourself, because when you go to those centers next time, they're not with you quite, because they know this one who relapses. How many times will he be our candidate, our mental health candidate? We talk to him, he says he has understood. While still in the ward, he relapses. Somebody sneaks in something. Or you look for how to get it. Sometimes you are not an inpatient. Sometimes they let you go home and advise you online, advise you with books, advise you with phone calls, but you tend up being the type even to think of committing suicide. You ruin your life. The rehabilitation centers have human beings, trained personnel who wish to help one who is abusing alcohol and one who is abusing substance. So if you are ever being in a situation of relapsing, ladies and gentlemen, we are saying they'll not be able to take care of you very effectively. The right information they're giving you, they'll be giving you, but it's like you'll get labeled, they're giving it to a wrong person. So that is what I can say about ruining yourself because of alcohol and substance misuse, and it comes with certain results, certain implications. Health issues do get ruined because of alcohol and substance misuse. The body organs are affected by too much alcohol and substances. Organs get compromised. Organs such as the lungs, intestines, the heart, kidneys, name them. And remember, when you have a kidney problem, sometimes you'll see such a person with swollen feet, and the same person is abusing alcohol. His appetite varies. Depending on the substance one is using, the appetite may increase or it may reduce, it may get suppressed. Now, if you lose weight, definitely other organs in the body are affected. If you become obese, then again other parts of the body get affected. Who is the loser at the end of the day? It is you. And your immunity in general will be compromised. So you'll be a frequent visitor to the hospital because your immunity is compromised by your taking of alcohol and substances. We also get life of those who abuse alcohol and substances ruined by virtue of not having any peace. They're perpetually in conflict, and when conflicts increase due to one's thirst for alcohol or substances, he brushes the wrong side of law. Once you brush the wrong side of law, then you'll be arrested, illegal issues will escalate. Of course, you've got to pay the advocate who will be representing you. Those will be investigating the case. Insurance costs and misunderstanding related to insurances will set in, because when there is a conflict, you may be a victim of mob justice. You may have your car burned, and you may suffer other complications which the insurance may accept to settle or may not accept to settle depending on the policies that they have. So you can imagine when you are not enjoying peace, it's perpetual conflicts. Honestly, your mind is unsettled. We also have stigma. You get to ruin yourself and you get stigmatized. The stigma sets in because you are abusing alcohol and you are abusing substances. You become discriminated at the community, in school, at the workplace, at home, and your inner self suffers discrimination. At the same time, public attitudes towards you are very negative. You go to the shop, you go to the mall, you go to the health facility, it is stigma all around. Nobody wants to sit near you because you may not be well groomed. You are smelling the odor from the alcohol and substances. You have the hangover, and that really ends up affecting you. Internally, you are fighting with yourself. The internal fight settles, and the alcohol and substances take the driver's seat. Once you are being driven by alcohol and substances, then your life continues to get ruined, and you end up being a person whose circumstances are forever surrounded by the alcohol and the substance that you misuse. I take this opportunity to thank you for listening to me, and remember to subscribe to Questing for Success channel if you've not done so, and if you've done so, please feel free to comment and share to the channel. Thank you for listening.